Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll talk about summer safety with Fireman Tony Rocky of the Countryside Fire Protection District. Remember, personal fireworks, including sparklers, are illegal in the village. We'll find out about this year's National Night Out Community Celebration hosted by the Vernon Hills Police Department. This year's event is planned for Tuesday, August 4th at Hartman Park. We'll check in with the mosquito squad at Clark Environmental to learn about the village's mosquito abatement efforts, as well as review recommendations for minimizing mosquito problems around our homes. We'll run through some of the fun that's in store for this year's summer celebration, which will take place from July 16th through the 19th at Century Park. And we'll introduce the new Vernon Hills Queens, who were crowned during the Vernon Hills pageant held on June 20th at the Vernon Hills Park District's Sullivan Center. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.
Well, we are over at Countryside Fire with our favorite fireman, Tony Rodkey, and we're here to get some news about what's going on at Countryside and also get some tips just to keep us going for the summer. Thanks for joining us, Tony, and what have you got in your hand here? Let's talk first about what you guys have been doing in the community with our kids who are graduating high school.
This is called the Graduation Life Safety Kit that we've been providing to the Vernon Hills High School graduates for the past 8 years. Mm-hmm. Each year, we've been giving this kit to the graduates that includes a smoke alarm, a power strip, first aid, different trinkets and items that remind the graduates about fire and life safety beyond high school. We've been fortunate to partner with the Vita Village Health for the past 8 years, companies such as Toshiba, Walgreens, Sam's Club, and Walmart to make this happen for our graduating classes.
Well, and like you said, this stuff is free. That power strip alone, I mean, think of what this is, all stuff you want the kids to take with them to school to help them stay safe and help them stay out of fires, because fire is a bigger problem than I would have realized in the college scene.
Since 2000, there have been 169 fire deaths at the colleges. So the good news is there is a decline. Unfortunately, there's still college students dying in fires. 80% of those fires are typically off campus, but they happen in the dormitories as well.
So just that smoke alarm alone, take that with you, have that ready so you can be safe.
Just a reminder, yes.
Well, thank you to you and the partners for doing that. Now let's talk about partnership. When Mr. Stordo and I came around the side of this truck, we see 3 logos on here. Can you talk about partnerships between you and the other fire protection districts?
Yes, absolutely. We have Wakanda and Long Grove joining in on our hose tender. The hose tender vehicle holds 4,000 feet of 5-inch hose. It's a supply line. When we're in these rural areas, such as Long Grove Fire Protection District and Wakanda Fire Protection District, as well as our own, that have no fire hydrants, we need to get water from some of our ponds, and then we can move that water through this 4,000 feet of pipeline. Essentially, it's 5-inch hose.
So you guys all partnered together to provide this vehicle then, so we're all working together.
That's correct.
Okay. Excellent. Very nice. I like to see about partnerships and things like that. Let's talk, since you're talking about fires, let's keep that talk going, because I know as we get to summertime, it's grilling season, it's fire pit season, it's all that kind of stuff. Can we talk a little bit about your concerns there and what we should be doing and not doing to get our fires started?
Well, first of all, there's no open burning in Vernon Hills. Any breeze like this is why. The housing close enough could catch on fire. So no open burning in Vernon Hills. However, the portable fire pits are permitted as long as they're in the pit and it's in a situation where you're sitting around it. We don't want to leave that unattended. When it comes to grilling, we want to make sure that we're on a surface that's not going to be combustible, such as a deck. Do not grill on a wooden deck. Concrete, brick pavers, gravel is fine, okay? Make sure you have your lid available and the tools that you would need to help prevent yourself from getting burned. 2 oven mitts, protect both hands, your spatulas, long forks. But that lid's very important in case a fire flares up. All you need to do is cover it.
And like you said, keep it attended, and don't let the kids around it, and don't let the pets around it. I know you've had some signs up on the poles that you're concerned that people use stuff they shouldn't to accelerate their fires.
Yes, I'm glad you noticed that. The boulevard banners are reminding to stop gas fires. Children learn from what parents do, and parents are still using gasoline to start fires. Don't start a fire, we build fires, okay, using the charcoal lighters, wood and kindling. However, 1 in 4 adults are still using gasoline to start fires, and those adults are getting injured.
So stop that. We'll stop that.
Stop gas fires.
Stop gas fires. Another thing, while you're watching this in July, we've got 4th of July, but really all summer long, as people are out celebrating, we tend to like to make noise and have noisemakers and things that we probably shouldn't. Can we talk about the typical home fireworks that you don't want to see?
Well, there's no fireworks in Vernon Hills. We leave that to the professionals. So I hope you enjoy the fireworks celebration on the 4th of July and summer celebration. Leave the fireworks to the professionals. All those fireworks that you can get in Wisconsin and Indiana are illegal to bring in Illinois.
Even sparklers.
Even sparklers, okay? Those burn at 1,700 degrees, and I see those handed off to little 3- and 4-year-olds. 1,700 degrees. A lot of those children end up burned and in the hospital.
1,700 degrees, we wouldn't even, our oven doesn't go that high at all, so we wouldn't be saying stick your hand in the oven and touch that. So.
That's correct, but yeah, parents are still doing that, so we definitely do not promote that. Stay away from those. Leave the fireworks to the professionals.
Okay. And one more thing we wanted to talk about, because we see a lot of people out on their skateboards and their bikes and their scooters and wheeling around. You want to talk a little bit about safety there on the roads?
Yes, with the children out of school, there's definitely more children out on the streets, in the parks, riding their bicycles. Just be aware of that. Keep your eye out for those folks that are crossing the street, riding their bicycles. Children, adults as well, please wear your helmet. We want to protect that head. Lots of injuries caused by those bicycle accidents are because nobody's wearing a helmet.
Yeah, and if the helmet is on, I know I've heard you guys say you can have a pretty big bang up, but you're in much better shape just because of the helmet.
You're going to definitely be protected. It's like wearing a seatbelt when you're driving. Put that on before you go bike riding. Put your helmet on.
Is that a good example for everyone? Well, that's a lot of information for now, and I know you have information online. I know you do first aid classes, you've got CPR classes, you've got all kinds of things you can do through here. If people want to find out more, they can always look on your website or call you on your regular line.
Yes, please take a look at our website, countrysidefire.com. We have our annual report in a new format that gives a great summary of all the accomplishments and what has taken place during the past year at Countryside Fire District.
Okay, excellent. We'll do that. And we always like to close with a reminder that if you have to think about, are you having a trouble and you need you, what should we be doing if we think we've got a problem?
There's a great new motto, when in doubt, call it out, 911.
Excellent. Thank you for your time. Thank you to the entire team. We appreciate all you do
You're
for us.
welcome. Have a safe and sunny summer.
We are at beautiful Hartman Park on Oakwood Road. And it is a beautiful day, isn't it?
Gorgeous day.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful day.
Gorgeous. Great day to be out here with Kim Christensen of the Vernon Hills Police Department. And let's tell people why we're in beautiful Hartman Park, which if you've not been over here, it's the place to be today. It's a lot of fun, Ronan. But tell us what's coming up in August.
August 4th. Tuesday, August 4th is the annual National Night Out celebration.
And I've got hours of 4 to 8-ish. Does that sound about right?
4 to 8 p.m. right here in beautiful Hartman Park. This is our 20th year for National Night Out. It's a National Night Out, like the name says, it's not something that just Vernon Hills does or Illinois. It's a national event.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about why these things got started, because like you said, you're not the only one that does it. You do it very well, I have to say.
Oh, thank you.
But
It's not me. It's not just me.
We got a great community for stuff like
Yes,
this.
we do.
So let's tell people why. I mean, it's fun and it's free, but why you even think this is important, how this got started.
Well, how it got started, actually it's sponsored by the National Association of Town Watch, and originally it still is billed as Give Crime a Going Away Party, a national night out against crime, an opportunity for police community relationships. I don't know, but I think about 20 years ago, maybe there wasn't as much of that as there is now. Now there's so many agencies that get involved on a community level that reach out and interact and things like that. And we've been doing it. The Vernon Hills Police Department has always had made that a huge part of what we do. But I'm not sure about other agencies throughout the country, but I think originally that's what it was, to get more agencies involved in community interaction and that kind of.
Make sure the community knows your police officers and the whole community knows each other. It was truly a crime prevention sort of thing, right?
Exactly. And locally, it's grown and grown, and for the last 10 or 12 years, it's been pretty much right here, and it's been incredibly successful every year. So we've continued to do it in the same way. So
and let's talk about what it is. If you've never been to National Night Out, it's kind of one of those, it's summertime when you get to have National Night Out on that first Tuesday night, because the whole community comes out. It's free. Tell us what kind of things go on here.
Well, we've got very family friendly. We will have a barbecue again. Last year we fed about 1,200 people, hot dogs.
Wait, 1,200 people got fed here?
1,200. Well, we rifled through about 1,200 hamburgers, or 700 hamburgers, and 800 hot dogs, or something like that. Just as many bags of chips, and double that for pop and water, and we made an ice cream run. So, right here it's just it's a barbecue. We have inflatables, those bouncy things for the kids to jump in for, thanks to Record a Hit. Is kind enough. We'll have A to Z Entertainment. The disc jockey will be out here, and like always, he's going to get the kids dancing right in front, and he has this way of just getting everybody motivated. The Boy Scouts will be here, talking about offering their services and promoting scouting. We have, as of right now, we've got Tricoci University of Beauty Culture. They were here last year, and they've agreed to come back and do face painting for the kids.
Oh, I have to tell you, if you've not been, they really know how to paint a face, too. It's not just some splotch on the face like I would do. This is...
Like I would do, too. No, these are Tricoci University. These are students at Tricoci, and so it's what they want to do, and it's what they do. And last year, the kids were lined up for 50 feet, lining up to get their butterflies and flowers or whatever,
artists,
they do.
Yeah.
Artists, yeah, it's great. We'll have Countryside will come out. Hopefully it's going to be just like it is today. Countryside Fire Prevention District to come out with a water curtain or a water cannon, whatever, and they'll put it out in the middle of the field, and the kids will go crazy. And
well, and it's also this is the 20th year you're doing this, but it's the 11th year you usually have a volleyball tournament. You think that's going to go again? You've got teams from around the community?
I think it will. We do have some teams lined up with the police department. And I hesitate to call it a tournament because it's not like a round robin or a bracketed thing, but we'll get the police team or two to take on some teams from the community, and they have a lot of fun doing it. And Park District is great. They give us these two sand volleyball courts here at Hartman Park, and they'll come out and they'll rake them, and we'll put the lines down, the rope lines for them, and it's very nice. Everybody has a lot of fun doing it.
Well, let's talk. You just mentioned Countryside, you mentioned the Scouts, you mentioned Tricoci, you mentioned all these people, Countryside Fire, the Park District. It's a community event, even though you guys are the ones that are the impetus at the police department. It truly is. You've got a lot of people who pitch in, who donate, who give their time, who give more. It is really everybody pulling together.
Yeah, there's national sponsors to it. In addition, though, we also have Target, which they'll take an interest in it and offer to participate again as well. So we'll have them. Certainly we couldn't do it without the Park District, and we couldn't pull it off without Public Works. Starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, Public Works is going to be out here setting up the tents and tables and the freezers for the meat and all kinds of things, and the troughs for the water. And so between the Park District and Public Works, those are the people behind the scenes that really make it all come together. Then we've got everybody who's involved in it, with Target and the A to Z Entertainment and the Record a Hit and the Scouts and Mario Tricoci and then the rest of them.
And the list goes on. I mean, it's just that's what's nice about this town too. We like to get together. We like to have parties, and we have so much support in the community. So if you did have somebody that wanted to give you a little support in this, if you had a company that maybe had a little cash to throw your way, they could give you a call and help you, couldn't they?
We can put it to use. We can
Yeah,
put it
it's
to
always
use.
to use.
You know, hopefully we'll have some stuff to give the kids too. The important thing to remember is that it is it's a village community event, but it's sponsored by the police department, and there's going to be a good amount of police officers out here. You might not know they're police officers because they'll be wearing the T-shirts and things, but they'll be the ones playing the volleyball and doing the grilling and helping me with some of the food. And we have other volunteers from our Citizens Police Academy that I should be able to recruit as well. They've been wonderful about coming out over the years. Some of our Citizens Police Academy graduates have come out to help me man the food tables and things like that.
Yeah. Well, it is a labor of love, and it does connect us all, the police department and the community, even closer. So it is a good time too if you have questions for your police. I mean, that's a time. It's a low-key event, but it's a great time to ask questions and find out what's going on.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun. So come on out, bring the kids. It turns into a big barbecue is what it ends up being, and it's something to do on an evening for a few hours, and you can have fun. The kids run around and have a good time.
Yeah, meet your neighbors. I mean, there's never too many times to meet your neighbors. Yeah.
Sure, you can walk over, you can drive over. I should add, the library is wonderful about bringing their bookmobile out too.
Okay.
So if you want to check out a book or check out the bookmobile, and I haven't set it up yet, but in years past they've been good about it. So hopefully we're going to get them out again too.
Yeah, so it's just a fun night for everybody. Now the facilities are beautiful here. You've got the pavilion, you've got the volleyball courts, you've got everything here because this is another one of our beautiful parks here in Vernon Hills. But if it rains, it really can't accommodate a rain date. So what happens then?
Well, unfortunately, if it rains, we'll keep our fingers crossed that it's not.
Okay, that's the answer.
We are pretty fortunate because of the event. If it rains, it pretty much does cancel it. There's so many events like the record hit that brings out those inflatables for the kids. Those are obviously unsafe if they get wet. You can't have children running inside, the kids going in, bouncing up and down with wet feet on plastic. They'd be twisted ankles and broken bones. Certainly you can't play volleyball. Well, you could, but no, so pretty much we'll hope it doesn't rain. But if it does rain, well, we chalk it up to Mother Nature and we move on.
I don't want to jinx it, but you know.
I don't
okay,
think
so
okay,
all right.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But we'll do our best and we plan. And if something happens that day, we'll make a decision in the morning.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you for doing this, and thank you to the police for all you do because we know you are great community partners and you've got that relationship. And these are just one of the reasons why you guys are awfully busy in the summer, being on hand for a lot of special events around town. So thank you for this. Tuesday, August 4th. Beautiful Hartman Park on Oakwood Road, 4 to 8 p.m. More information will be online. And thank you so much for taking the time. And thank you to your crew for doing this because it is a labor of love.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. One more thing from the police department before we say goodbye. The Vernon Hills Police Department recently launched its own Facebook page. Now, this is in addition to the village's Facebook page, which has great information on it and is liked by a lot of people. If you go on Facebook and like the official Vernon Hills Police Department Facebook page for all things Vernon Hills law enforcement, police related, and crime prevention tips and news and police events and things like that. So like us both, check out the Vernon Hills Police Department Facebook page, like the village's Facebook page, and between the two of us, you are going to stay informed and stay well connected. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Well, it's summertime, so that means it's mosquito season. So we like to talk to our favorite entomologist, George Ballas of Clark Environmental. Thank you for, I guess it's just Clark now. Is that the name?
Yeah, that's Clark Environmental Mosquito Management or Clark. Either way, it's just fine.
Excellent. Well, George is an expert on bugs of all kind, which that's a kind of an exciting title to have for our town. And as part of Clark, you are you're an organization that comes through and helps us do some mosquito abatement and management, just like you do for a lot of the towns around here.
Yeah, we coordinate the mosquito control efforts for Vernon Hills as well as many of the neighboring communities.
And let's talk, before we get going on what we should be doing at home, can you remind people what that means, that what you guys are doing out here. You're not like, it's not like when I spray a hornet's nest and I'm just shooting poison directly at at a bug. You guys have a life cycle management process.
Yeah, we're really looking at standing water issues primarily. So we're out checking standing water. If there's breeding happening, then we'll treat it with a product that will actually kill the mosquitoes before they become flying adults. We also treat storm drains and catch basins along the roadways. There's thousands of them within the village, which actually can be potential breeding areas for mosquitoes. And then when mosquito populations reach a certain threshold, then we'll do some adult mosquito control to knock down that adult flying population, which causes the nuisance quality of life issues or either public health issues sometimes.
And when we see your guys on bikes, you're one of the first organizations that put people on bikes. That's what we'll see going down the street.
Yeah, they'll be treating storm drains that way. It's an excellent way for people to get out in the environment, ride about 20 miles per day, and it's really one of the best jobs we have at Clark now.
Yeah, so we should think about that. If you want a summer job next year, talk to George. That would be a good job. So, and what you guys are doing, like you said, you're treating the water to stop things before they happen, and so that's why you're doing a lot of testing. Now, you do work with a lot of communities all over. Are you finding problems? Because it isn't just there's the nuisance aspect, but there's that public health aspect. Let's talk a little bit more about what you're looking for.
Well, early in the season right now with the heavy rains that we experienced in June, we're going to see a lot more quality of life issues, a lot of floodwater mosquitoes coming from there. Usually as we roll into July, when this story will be airing, we'll start to go into the West Nile virus season. And that's where the public health issue really starts to air. And what we're looking for there is a lot of stagnant bodies of water. So our program really emphasizes based on environmental situations. So heavy rains, we lead towards more floodwater areas, and then as it starts to dry out, we start to lean towards those areas where the Culex mosquito or the public health issue may be arising.
Okay, so right now you're pretty clean as far as West Nile, just because of the timing, but by the time people are watching this, it might be a whole different thing.
Exactly. A couple weeks can be a complete difference in mosquito population. Okay. So,
well, let's talk about then, you're taking care of like the big public areas, but what can we be doing at home? It's very, some simple things, but you say they truly do make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, truly tipping and tossing. Tip over any artificial containers that hold water, and then recycle those if they're not needed anymore. Using repellents around your home, making sure your gutters are water-free. Bird baths, just hose them out every 3 or 4 days to get rid of the mosquito larvae in there. Taking care of those mosquito breeding areas. If mosquitoes are breeding in your yard, the first people they're going to come to are the homeowners. So getting rid of that standing water, reducing that breeding helps out tremendously.
Well, and I know you said even things like just, the drip pot under a flower pot, that can be a mosquito breeding ground. It seems like it's so little that it wouldn't matter, but it does.
It really does. We've seen a lot of corrugated pipes that come off of the gutter systems, and there's a lot of standing water, just tiny amounts of standing water. If you can actually take that off every so often and just drain it, make sure that all the water's out of it, all the leafy matter, that helps out tremendously as well.
It just disrupts the life cycle, and it saves you a lot. And you've told me before that the mosquitoes stay pretty close to home. So if you can keep your yard in good shape, it does help. And I know before you've talked about repellents. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, there's several different types of repellents that are out there. 4 of them are recommended by the Centers for Disease Control. DEET base, which is what you probably grew up with, very common right now. A lot of different formulations of that. Picaridin based, oil of lemon eucalyptus, and then IR 3535. So those are the 4 recommended active ingredients. There's lots of different product names and different brands that those are available through. But each one of those has a little bit different situation. If you're looking for something more natural or more synthetic, lots of different versions for people.
Okay, and I know you've said before too, even like the clip-ons that aren't putting anything on your body, if you're sitting still, they might work.
Yeah, the directions actually show just put it on your table or put it on your hip and don't move around for more than 5 minutes. So if you're going on a walk, that's probably not the best way. You're going to have the person behind you is going to have all of the repellency that you're getting from that.
Well, and I know people do get nervous about the repellents and all of these things, but you're a dad. Mm-hmm. Do you guys use repellents at home?
Absolutely. When you're out in an area where mosquitoes are active, just putting on the repellent. If you have small children, I have 6-year-old twins, so getting out there and actually putting it on for them is the most important component. They can't read the directions like you can, so following the directions, putting it on, you can put it on all exposed skin. It's something that is necessary, especially when the kids are out, when mosquitoes are active.
Well, and your workers, when they're out riding around, they're using it as well.
If they're out during the evening hours in an area where mosquitoes are active, most definitely. Sometimes we have people who are in heavily wooded areas, and they'll be wearing it as well.
Well, and when we talk about in your yard, you gave a good tip that I've used before too, is just put in a nice fan outside. it just blows those things away. They're not that great a fire.
Yeah, if you're out for just a short barbecue and you don't want to put on any repellent, by using a fan, an oscillating fan, those mosquitoes don't fly well against wind. They'll fly with the wind, and that's really just a simple procedure that you can do as well.
Well, and I know as we talked about, you said you're worried about West Nile. I know different times we've interviewed you in years past, I can't remember the name. It sounded like chimichanga or something to me. But there's things that, you've got things that are borne by the ticks. You've got all these things out in our world that you want people to stay safe. And some of those tips are just to wear long sleeves, be careful when you're out, and keep track of things.
Yeah, it's difficult during the summer to really wear long sleeves and long pants. I mean, it gets hot out there, so wearing repellents in different situations. Chikungunya is a new virus that we've seen in the United States. It's emerged in the South. We have the same type of mosquitoes in the Chicagoland area, so the virus could come here. So, I mean, they're just the simple steps. People shouldn't necessarily be worried about West Nile virus. If they're outside and say, oh, I can't go outside because of West Nile virus or chikungunya or any of those things. It's simple precautions, just like putting on your seatbelt when you get in your car. It's just one precaution that you take, and it helps you reduce your risk for those situations.
Well, thank you, and thank you to your crews who are out there and they're testing our water and keeping track of anything. And if you want to know more, I know you've got mosquito hotlines, you've got information on your website, you've got a lot of things people can find out more about the things you guys do.
Yeah, if you call us at 800-942-2555, you can be placed on a notification list for any adult mosquito spraying. You can call us about standing water that's been sitting in your yard for 3 to 4 days, or go to Clarke.com with an E, CLARKE.com, and you can get more information about mosquito control programs and what you can do around your house.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for the time. Thank you for keeping after all these bugs. As we're standing here, we're kind of getting bit up, to tell you the truth. So we're working on it, right? We're just here working on it now. So thanks, George, and have a great summer, and thanks for all your guys do.
Thank you.
Here's your reminder to be sure to attend Vernon Hills Summer Celebration 2015. This year's event will take place from Thursday, July 16th through Sunday, July 19th at beautiful Century Park. Along with the many rides, games, children's activities, and food vendors, there will be plenty of free musical entertainment taking to the stage. On Thursday, July 16th at 7 p.m., Hot Sauce Committee kicks things off. This 90s cover band from Chicago will bring a crazy fun show to the Century Park stage. The evening will include a fireworks display taking place at approximately 9:30 p.m. On Friday, July 17th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., Mike and Joe and Modern Day Romeos take to the Century Park stage. Mike and Joe bring back their alternative and modern rock band, playing songs from the 90s through today. Mike and Joe are always a fan favorite and is one of the most watched cover bands in the Midwest. And Modern Day Romeos brings their most fun and high energy show you can experience, with Motown classic, rock jams, your favorite songs from the 80s and 90s, and the top pop, dance, and rock songs. Then on Saturday, July 18th at 7 p.m., enjoy the music from Bella Kane. This country music group has become one of the largest top 40 country groups in the region and delivers a young, high-energy, non-stop, in-your-face musical experience. Then at 9 p.m. on Saturday, July 18th, it's Lone Star making their first ever appearance at Summer Celebration. With 10 #1 country hits including No News, Come Crying to Me, and Amazed, this is one Summer Celebration concert you won't want to miss. That brings us to the final day of Summer Celebration. On Sunday, July 19th at 5 p.m., Kaleidoscope Eyes, an acoustic Beatles tribute band, closes out the weekend events. Vernon Hills Summer Celebration takes place from Thursday, July 16th through Sunday, July 19th at Century Park. For more information, call 847-367-3700 or visit www.summercell.com. We hope to see everyone out at this year's Summer Celebration.
2015. Contestant number 1, Linnea Gutierrez. Our second runner-up for Little Miss comes later. Little Miss Vernon Hills 2015. Contestant number 4, Megan Brockway. Our first runner-up for Little Miss Vernon Hills 2015 is contestant number 3, Tess Posner, which means that your new Little Miss Vernon Hills 2015 is contestant number 2, Victoria Berta. So our second runner-up for Vernon Hills Junior Miss 2015 is contestant number 5, Madeline Gutierrez. Our first runner-up for Junior Miss Vernon Hills 2015, contestant number 7, Jessica Lackey. Your new Junior Miss Vernon Hills 2015 is contestant number 1, Valerie Lerner. All right. Your new Miss Vernon Hills 2015 is contestant number 1, Emily Jordan.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. If you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Stordo at 847-918-3560 or email Mike S. at thehills.org. Thank you for tuning into the Vernon Hills Update.